Hello guys, welcome back to Spooktober. How far can we push the insane category excuse in court? Do you think if you were not sane during an act of a crime that you should be lesser sentenced just because you weren't sane? And do you think that you can act a disorder in order to get away with horrific things? We're gonna see if you think that these suspects were acting it out or if they really do have some kind of disorder that made them act out in such a horrific way. And for today's outfit, I'm wearing some glitter top, of course my sun and moon cool dangly earrings here. You guys know sponsors help out my channel so much that I could create these content for you guys, and I just want to say a big shout out and thank you again to Keen. I love it when I get sponsored by Keen because I get to call some amazing spiritual psychics and get clarity in any life question that I have about career, about my life, maybe a love life that you might have. I don't call Keen psychics because I'm in emotional distress. I call them because I just want some energy clarity and a curiosity that I have. Keen is also one of the most affordable ways to get instant psychic readings by a professional any time of the day, 24/7. Now today I talked to two new advisors. I asked them questions about, music careers and when it could be like a great opportunity for me to release music. The fact that I could get some clarity with these advisors are a really big thing. At the end of the day, everybody looks for validations, clarity in life. Each week, Keen sends its users discount on readings, so remember to check your email for discounts every week. As a new Keen customer, you will get your 10 minutes of reading for only $1.99. So remember, go to trykeen.com/GRAZYTV. And the service is backed by satisfaction guaranteed. So go and try it, you guys. Thank you so much to Keen for sponsoring today's video. This case is also deemed one of the most confusing cases and the darkest cases in Korea because it involves heavy psychology. So again, if you guys are into psychology or you study psychology, watch this video with your friends and we're gonna diving into what goes inside these girls from a weird world. So the first suspect we're gonna be talking about is a young female. Back then, she was 16 years old and her name is Kim. She was actually a high school dropout. She was only 16 years old at the time. And when people saw her, a picture of her, they're very surprised because she looks like a baby. They said she has baby hands. She just looks so young. Well, I mean, technically she is so young. She's in just school uniform. No one could imagine that she was living in a world of weird fantasies and dark life. Her classmates and her teachers remember her actually not having a lot of friends. She was very quiet. She didn't really get along with a lot of people. In pictures, you could see she's always kind of alone and distant. I don't like this part, but she used to, use animals as baits, or, she would kill animals, and they also say that when she got a little bit angry or got into altercations, she got super angry and she would actually pull out like X-Acto knives or something like that. Like her anger level was a little bit different than a normal person. Here are some drawings that was done by Kim. Kim's drawing apparently holds the key to her inner dark self, where the drawings tell a story of anxiety, anger, and depression. Although her depression was confirmed, her schizophrenia was not confirmed. So we actually don't know if she actually dealt with schizophrenia. It was said that Kim would often sit by the playground or by the soccer field in order to just watch people pass by. It was on March 29th, 2017. Kim wore some really odd clothing choices. She was only 16, but she wore her mother's clothing. She had sunglasses on. She had like an adult suit on. She was just kind of pretending to be an adult for some reason. She also had a black suitcase with her that day. There was this one little girl, we're gonna call her A. So one little girl who was only 8 years old at the time came running thinking that Kim was an adult. She said, "Hey, I want to call my parents, but I don't have a phone. Can I borrow yours?" Kim told A that she had no battery on her phone. Kim apparently told A that she could use her home phone and suggested that they go up to the 15th floor where Kim was living. The girl agreed and went with Kim, thinking that she was an adult. This was when Kim told A to play with her cat that she had in her house, and then she proceeded to strangle A. Unfortunately, A did end up passing away, and Kim took A and put her body in multiple bags, then cleaned up the scene in the bathroom very spotlessly. She was found on the top roof where there was a water tank. So Kim actually had to climb up these stairs, put the body bag there, and then come back down. That afternoon around 4:30 p.m., Kim went to Hongdae area to meet her friend, and her friend's name is Kang. Now Kang is gonna play a really important role in this story. So apparently Kim and Kang met online while they were doing some kind of role playing. So basically what they were doing is they had each characters that they drew or made up, right? So you could meet each other in this website and you could create chat rooms. Now, Kim and Kang were each playing these roles of a fantasy character. So this character actually had a different age, a different name, like special characteristics about this character. And in this chat room, they were talking to each other, not as Kim and Kang, but as this role-playing characters. So in this chat room, they were talking about some odd things like calling each other captain and sending each other videos and photos of some dark things. Now, Kim apparently also drew a lot. And in these drawings in these chat rooms, you could see that Kim drew very dark concept characters. In the chat rooms, you could also see that Kang had a weird fetish for fingers. And because they were getting the attention while role-playing online that they didn't get in reality in the real world, it seemed like they were like building this fantasy world online that didn't exist outside. So going back, Kim and Kang met up in Hongdae, and Kim had a little surprise for Kang. She actually bought A's fingers inside a paper bag and handed it to Kang. And they decided to go and have a little drink date. Soon after this incident and they met up, Kim was obviously caught by the police, and the story only gets crazy from here. When Kim was first arrested, she did admit that she did it, but she said, I don't know what went on, I don't know how I did it, I don't know what happened. But looking into the evidences, could she have really not known what she did? Now, according to Kim, she claimed that she had multiple disorders. At first, Kim claimed that she had this associative disorder, where here in this disorder, you feel this attachment to one's bodies and feelings. Then she claimed that she had multiple personality disorder. This is when you switch to different personalities. There's actually a famous movie called 23 Personalities, and they usually say in these cases, people don't remember their actions when they are switching through their different personality. The only thing that remember is their real true personality. And then she claimed schizophrenia. Remember, she did go to therapy for schizophrenia, but it wasn't confirmed. Schizophrenia is characterized by thoughts or experiences that seem out of touch with reality, disorganized speech, or behavior. So which one is it? Could it be all of these things, or could it be that Kim is just pretending and acting that she has all of these? In one of the interrogations when she was caught, she even told the interrogator, "Today I am shy Annie. Please ask me questions." And then she would say, "Now I'm serious Jane. Ask me questions." So she was kind of like trying to switch different personalities when she was doing the interrogations. So let's dive into, did Kim really have all these disorders? Looking into the CCTVs and evidences, it shows otherwise. CCTV shows that Kim was perfectly capable and sane during these times, such as noticing the CCTV getting off at the 13th floor, walking up 2 floors on purpose in order to confuse the police. She also cleaned up her bathroom in her house spotlessly after the act. Also, the phone evidence showed that she did have battery on her phone, and she lied to victim A about not having batteries. Also, her internet search shows that she searched for words such as murder, attack, how to avoid CCTV, and many other things. Also, the fact that she went to the rooftop of the apartment, which indicates that she probably went there before to check it out and see what was up there and things like that. So all these evidences actually pointed out that these were all planned attacks and nothing spontaneous. According to professionals, someone with multiple personality disorder would most likely not be able to plan attacks and usually act spontaneously. And also they say that these other personalities usually do not remember things. And Kim was remembering all the details and different details when she was switching personalities. Professionals also say schizophrenia is not likely because they say that usually people with this disorder have major anxiety after such an act. And she showed neither sign. She was actually very cold. She was like not taking any responsibility or anxiety for what she's done. Searching through many history of criminals, they say that usually, yes, it is true that many criminals might have disorders and things like that, but usually they are actually known to found to make up disorders in order to get a lesser sentence. Now, later on through the investigation, Kim again changed her statement, saying that she now does remember what she did to A by strangling her, but she thought that this was all a dream. She didn't think think that this was real. And then she changed the statement again, later claiming that she did what she did to A because she was bothering her cat, or she was trying to hurt her cat. And that's why Kim lashed out on A. Now in court, it was unbelievable how Kim was acting because she was acting really bizarre. Of course, Kim would act very unapologetic and no remorse. Also in court, when an evidence or statement that she did not agree with was spoken out about, she started to yell in court in informal words. They say that also when her lawyer that was next to her was speaking through the mic and his voice would be very low, she would actually pull up the mic so that the lawyer would speak louder. She would also act direct adult-like questions to witnesses who were testifying during court and using adult vocabularies. Professionals say usually when you're 16 you would act, and talk in a very teenager-like statements, but she had these like adult vocabularies and asking in a really complicated manner like an adult would. Now during court, she had to stay in juvenile jail. So the cellmate that was living with Kim during the time of the court confessed and say that Kim would tell her, "You know about my court case, right? Ask me any questions that you have." And she would get a little bit excited talking about her case. At one point, the cellmate even says that Kim came in after her trial with a good mood. Kim told her cellmate, "Oh, lawyer told me if you use an insane category or mental disorder, I'll only get 5 to 7 year sentence. I now have hope." Sometime during the court hearings, Kim was able to get therapy, like mental therapy, in order to diagnose like what kind of condition that she might have had. So in one of the therapy, the doctors apparently suggested that she might have something called Asperger's syndrome. Asperger's syndrome is a condition on the autism spectrum, but with generally higher functioning. Ever since this potential diagnosis, apparently Kim requested Asperger's syndrome books to her parents. So when her parents sent her books about AS, she started reading and studying the book. Her cellmates say ever since that potential diagnosis, she started acting totally different. And when they would call out to her, Kim would not even respond anymore, and later saying, "Oh, I didn't hear you because I have Asperger's syndrome." Now let's talk about the second suspect, Kang, who yes, was also prosecuted for her involvement in this act. Now Miss Kang, who was 18 years old at the time, she claims that she didn't know what was in the bag when they met up in Hongdae that day. She says that she just saw the brown bag and threw it out on her way home. Like, who would receive a paper bag? Who knows? It could be a present in there and just throw it out. And later on in the CCTV footage, they caught Kang going into the bathroom of that drink date that they had, and she comes out with a brown bag, which indicates, and the police believe that that's when she actually saw the bag and saw the fingers in there. Later on, Kang did confess and say that she did take a look inside the bag, but she thought that the fingers were fake. She thought that it was just a doll or a prop. So was this true that she thought that it was just all a prop and all an act? Now the text messages between these two are quite disturbing. Before the attack, Kim messaged Kang with a selfie that day, yes, wearing her mother's clothes before she actually planned this attack. Kim said, "I'm going hunting. I see the field." Kang then says, "Then one of them will die, right? Ha ha ha." After the attack on A, Kim messaged Kang saying, "I caught a prey." Kang said, "How about the CCTV? Is she still alive?" And so on and so forth. At one point, Kang messaged Kim in nervousness that she will get caught as well and charged, where Kim responded that she will take her out of the scenario. So this indicates and points out that Kim and Kang knew about this and were pretty much planning this whole thing. Later in court, fast forward, Kim changed her statement again, saying that it was actually Kang who initiated the whole plotting. Now this statement just threw the whole court upside down, because now you're changing the whole scenario here. Like, you're actually changing the actual perpetrator to Kim to Kang. So you could see why, honestly, Kim is not really a reliable person when it comes to her giving information. Now here's another crazy part. Kang claimed that she thought everything was an act. Just like how they were role-playing in these chat rooms, she thought that she was actually just participating in role-playing. So could it be that since Kim and Kang met up while role-playing, she thought that this was all a role-playing too? So there was an evidence where it showed that Kim called Kang right after the act of the murder. Kim claims that she called Kang for 8 minutes just based on what to do with the whole situation because she was super nervous. She didn't know what to do. And Kang still claims that she thought that Kim was calling her role-playing acting. At the end, because Kim and Kang still stuck to their fantasy crazy acting stories, court found them guilty of murder. Kim actually tried to use the 심신미약, which means any insane category or mental disorder category, and the court found that she was not insane and that she probably does not have these disorder that she claims that she has. Kim was sentenced to 20 years to jail and Kang to 13 years for being a supporter. They did find that Kang was just a supporter and not the perpetrator, but because she participated, she has to serve in jail. But you guys, when they're gonna be released, they're only gonna be around their 30s because they were very young when they did this. Now, one of the reasons why they were only served this amount of time is because they were minors when this happened, so they were served according to the minor law. Yes, Koreans and netizens are furious about this, that they should not even have a minor law when it comes to horrific crimes like this. And this law obviously first started thinking that minors should get a second chance in life because they might have done things that were not in their right mind when they were younger. So the ultimate question is, well, do you think Kim actually had these disorders? Because it is crazy and bizarre how a young child is able to do and make up all these things. Was she just a real bad psychopath? Psychopaths are pretty much just normal people like us, but they do not have remorse for their actions and they don't understand consequences like a normal person, so they act out and lash and do all these things. But they're not categorized as having like schizophrenia or all these other disorders. My personal 2 cents is that I think Kim is too smart and too planned in order to have all these other disorders that she claims she has. I would love to know what you guys have thought about this case. It was a lot of information. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a magical day.